Thank you so very, very much. As we begin our service, we have gathered really to say our final goodbyes, pay our last respects to James Thomas Jorgensen, who completed his journey through this life on August 9, 2015, at 80 years of age. He was preceded in death by parents Thomas and Florence, brother Wallace and sister Marilyn, survived by his wife of 60 years, Mary Jane, daughter Pamela, sons Michael and Thomas, grandchildren Brianna, Kyle, Christopher, and Marissa, and other relatives and good friends. Again, thank you for letting me be part of this service of celebration. I did pick up on the fact that he was known as Smiley Jim, and obviously in all the pictures you can see, I think his biggest smile though was on his wedding pictures, and I can see why. But I couldn't help but think of what one of my favorite theologians said that I think would be appropriate to begin our service with. And you might have heard of this theologian. His name is Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss says, "Don't just cry because it's over, but smile because it happened." So we've gathered really to smile together. And I know there's so many things that will bring smiles to your face as you think of Jim, because he was the kind of person that just was contagious as far as his love of life and all of the qualities that made him who he was. And I know that he's missed greatly by not only his friends and family, but many people that couldn't even be here. And let me just begin by reading something that Jim's grandson Christopher wrote. He could not be with us today because he's in Ireland for his college internship of managing golf courses. I wonder where he got that love. Christopher's many special memories of Grandpa and the love they shared of sports and golf will always be in his heart. He says, "I love and I miss you, Grandpa." And I like that. So as we begin by reflecting together and thinking about those memories together, let me just mention that after our service is finished here, you'll have a wonderful opportunity to share memories over a cup of coffee, because we're going to lead you to a wonderful area that's been prepared with a lunch, and we want you to stay for that. And then after the lunch, we'll be going to Don Valley Memorial Park for the interment. But even as part of this service, we want to give anyone an opportunity who would like to. I know that several people have talked to me about wanting to be able to share in the service. And so just so that we can continue smiling together, I'm going to step back and open this up to anyone who would like to come and share memories of a very special Smiley Jim.
I want to thank everybody for coming today. I'm Pam. I'm Jim's daughter, oldest, and I just want to say a few words. Dad, as I picture your face and your smile, I remember all the good and fun times we shared. You were the best dad and grandpa ever. The love of sports and yelling at the TV, I got that from you. You were also able to see Chris and Marissa play their sports, and they were very thankful for that. You taught me how to drive, and yes, that took a while, but I finally learned. You helped me when I hit the deer. What all my brothers could ask is if I kept it, not asking if I was okay or not. It's every girl's dream for her dad to walk her down the aisle and see her have kids someday. And you were there for that. You will forever be in my heart, Eric's, Chris, Marissa's, and never say goodbye. See you later, and that was his saying. And Marissa has a tattoo that says that on her side. Anyways, I love you, your little girl.
Some other people are getting ready to come up here and say something, but I have nothing written down. I can't do that, but just want to say thanks for everyone to making the trip out here and sharing all this.
hair, I got Kleenex. When you're looking at this, don't think of me. I'm wearing this because of the courage. He taught me. He was a very hard worker. He did so much overtime, finishing the basement, work on the house, the yard, the garden, up at the lake. I learned from him strong work ethic, self-motivation, being responsible, opening doors for ladies and the elderly, and not give up. One of our favorite movies was Rocky, which brother never quit, never gave in. I think he knew that already. He liked westerns and war movies. Loved all the major sports. And like my sister said, he got really excited during big games. And the Vikings, you could hear him shout from them, or when calling his kids for dinner to the neighborhood, or sneezing.
Love sneeze.
He got up at 4 a.m. sometimes to drive me during my paper out in heavy rains. And then he went to work. He played with us kids, played football, basketball, hockey, took us skating, sliding. Even just being around or nearby, it gave me a sense of security that everything was okay, no matter how bad things got in life. He said I could figure it out. It'll work out. My mom says that too. So he gave us hope for tomorrow. You are my father, and mentor, coach, and hero. Just wanted to say I love you so much. Thanks.
Bear with me. I don't even know where to begin to describe the type of man, husband, mother, father, and grandfather my grandpa was. I could go on and on about how much of a full-hearted, kind soul, and truly caring individual my grandpa Georgie was, because he was a true man of honor and love. You're all here because my grandfather touched your lives in one way or another. Whether he was in your life for a year or for 60. He brought not only joy, but constant laughter into any room he was present in. My grandpa taught me many things in my 20 years of life, from something to as simple as how to shuffle a deck of cards, or to even reeling in a walleye on the lax, or even what to look for in a man. And I'm so glad he taught me those lessons and more, because he was truly the best role model and teacher I could have ever asked for. During my time with him and my beautiful grandmother, I got to see what true love really is. My grandparents spent 60 years of love, compassion, and pure happiness together. Never once did I see them show any emotions besides complete and utter joy and happiness while on their journey together. I'm beyond grateful to have gotten this experience. I don't think there was one day I spent with them when I didn't hear my grandpa mention how my grandma was for high school's homecoming queen, or better yet, how her high school football team beat Patrick Henry. Your grandpa singing Patrick Henry's school song and calling grandpa's team a bunch of cheaters. The life they spent together was full of complete, plenty of laughter, but how couldn't it have been with my grandpa constantly cracking jokes? I'll miss those jokes and the random comments made at our family dinners. There truly was never a dull moment with you. Every time I saw my grandpa, I would always get the famous question, "Honey, what's your boyfriend's name?" And after my response of, "Grandpa, I don't have a boyfriend," he would then reply back, "What? You're too pretty not to have a boyfriend." I would, of course, thank him and remind me that he could be my boyfriend for the time being. And he was okay with that, as was I. He would also ask me countless times if I was going to invite him to my wedding. And I would respond with, of course, Grandpa, he'll be the first one. And he still will be, even if he can't physically be there. And he'll be there with me, just like from every day now on. I'll never forget the laughs, hugs, and just Lindy's we shared. Just like I'll never forget my Grandpa Jorgie. Some of you may not know, but we had a special saying we would say to each other after every departure, which would be go with me saying bye, and then he would quickly remind me, honey, you don't say goodbye, and see you later. I complied and followed it. See you later, alligator. And he followed within a wild crocodile. So, Grandpa, see you later, alligator.
Thanks, Marissa, that was great.
Very special, isn't it? And I know that over a cup of coffee, there's going to be just a lot more smiles as that spirit of sharing continues. One of the things that I picked up on was his not only passion for fishing, but his success at fishing. I know that was a big part of his life. And found out the secret was he was always able to find the right spots, but the way he did it was by using landmarks. He said, if you go straight out from the creek and line up with a point, that's how you're going to find that spot. So he had that innate ability to navigate. I'm also really thrilled with the fact that they had 60 years of loving marriage together, which obviously has already been brought out. And I found out the secret of that as well. They would often be in the same room watching TV, but they had 2 TVs. So I'm not sure if you shouted at one TV if that interrupted your program or not, but I know that was very, very special. I also know that you like to fish together, and that was important. The family that fishes together will stay together, right? And you like to dance, and you can't dance alone, so obviously that was a big part of your life. In other words, life was a celebration, wasn't it? And you can see that celebration spirit by the way he smiled. Let me just read one more thing that the family has shared. Talking about many things, but at the end it says he played cribbage more times than there were stars in the sky. He also enjoyed Las Vegas, Jim Beam, flirting with the girls at Perkins and later at the hospital. All this made him feel good, and he made everyone feel good and laugh. And here's what the family says to each one of us. Don't remember him for his Alzheimer's. That was not his choice, but his smile was. And there's a wonderful song talking about smiling that we're going to listen to right now.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's working. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you smile.
That was Grandpa's or Dad's.
That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, Wesley, you supplying. You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
It's a good picture.
Well, that was powerful, wasn't it? Reminds you of really what is important in life. You know, so often we go through life trying to climb the ladder of success, only to find out that it's been leaning against the wrong building. All we have to do is to look around us, and we find that to be successful, we have to do like Jesus said. First of all, love God with all of your heart, mind, soul, and strength. He didn't stop there. He said the second is like unto it, love your neighbor as yourself. There's no other commandment greater than these. And the word neighbor comes from two words, ne, which is near, and dur, to dwell. So whoever happens to be dwelling in your life, these are the people that we need to reach out to. These are the people that we need to love unconditionally. And we can only do so, first of all, we have experienced God's unconditional love in our hearts and lives. And when we have that wonderful love relationship, I guarantee that you're going to be leaving wonderful memories behind as well. One of the passages of Scripture that I often go to, because the older I get, the more personal I can apply it, and that is Psalm 90, where it talks about God's faithfulness to all generations. But then it talks about life itself. The Bible says we have 70 years, or due to strength, 80 years. Yet their pride is but labor and sorrow, for soon it is gone, and we fly away. But then the application is this: teach us to number our days, that we might present to thee a heart of wisdom. I have several grandchildren, but one happens to live in town. His name is Joshua. And he came over yesterday just to visit for a while. And I said, well, Josh, I understand that Monday is the big day. He said, yeah, unfortunately, you're right. School starts. And I said, well, you had a pretty good summer, though, didn't you? And he said, yeah, but it all went so fast. I said, you know, Josh, that's part of how life is. It goes so fast. And instead of just counting the days until this event or that event, learn to live in the moment. And one way you do that is by making every day count. So when you wake up in the morning, maybe you don't feel good, well, you still woke up, didn't you? When you wake up in the morning and the weather outside is not what it should be, well, you still can put on the right kind of garments to go out into the weather, whether it's rain or snow or whatever. So there's always ways to respond to what is happening to you. We have no control over what is happening to you, but you do have a control over how you respond to what is happening to you. And when we can respond with a smile, I would say that's a pretty good response in life, wouldn't you? As a matter of fact, the Bible says in everything, give thanks. Have a joyful spirit. And it's something that only can come when we, first of all, experience God's love and plan in our life. When we understand who God is, we understand that He'll always be with us. He'll never leave us nor forsake us, which means that we always are in the majority no matter what happens to us. We always have a strength that goes beyond anything that people can understand. But then when we can have that same commitment to one another, I'll be there for you. 60 years, I'll be there for you. I think these last 5 years especially was a wonderful demonstration of what that was all about. When we can have that kind of a commitment, we can sit back and relax, and we can do an awful lot of smiling. And we're going to smile together right now as we listen to another song, I'll Be There.
Can't hear you. This is the Escape Club. Which flowers are the ones? Are these the same? Almost empty. Steve's got it in his car. What is that one? That was just on there. What? 6-minute highlight video. It's not the same as those.